and welcome to Our Age, Our View. I'm Cynthia Healy. This is Meg Conners and Julie Conners, and today's topic will be about caregiver attachment. And we all three have experienced a lot of situations where a senior has a need for a caregiver and the caregiver comes in, often in the home, I think is where most of the conflicts arise. But the rules of what you can do, I'll say best practices, to protect your senior from inappropriate attachments to their caregiver is something that we're going to talk about today. And Meg is going to share a story that she has, and Julie and I will pick up where we can.
Some color commentary.
Yes.
So this happened several years ago. It still haunts me because I still revisit how it could have been handled differently. We had a lady in home, and it was indeed our caregiver who had been an excellent caregiver, and we sent her into the home to help this woman. And things we thought were going quite well. The lady was very happy. The caregiver was very happy, as well she should have been. I think our first flag was when we noticed the caregiver was driving a new car. And we thought, well, good for her. She works hard. She has a new car. The second red flag, and this caregiver was in her 30s, is she showed up and she had braces. And we thought, new car, braces, what's going on? So we did indeed speak with the caregiver. We brought her in and said, I'm glad you're doing so well. However, we're a little bit concerned. And she basically told us it was none of our business, that she was doing well, and thank you very much for asking. And that was about it. At which point we became increasingly suspicious and went out to the elderly lady's home and asked her, she invited us in and asked her what was going on, and asked her if she had noticed that the caregiver had braces, and she said, yes, I paid for them. And this lady was not conserved, did not have any family that we knew of. And so we explained to the lady that that was inappropriate. And she basically, very quickly, threw us out of the house, said that it was her decision, that the caregiver really mattered to her. She was going to help the caregiver, and that we had no control over the situation. And I said, well, we're not going to be able to send the caregiver back anymore. And her response was, I don't care, because I'm basically adopting her, and she is going to now be my family, and I can give her whatever I want. We did call the sheriff's department, and they did go out and speak with the lady, and she reiterated everything she had said to us, and unfortunately that's the end of the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they could not do anything, we could not do anything, and
Well, and maybe we should share with the viewers what the laws are about influencing seniors and accepting gifts and using undue influence on them, because the caregiver is around the senior, generally the only person that's around them a lot. And in my experience, one of the things that, I'm jumping ahead just a sec, one of the things that we can do is surround the senior with this concept we've discussed before on camera about a team. And so there are other people that are around, so that the senior is not solely dependent on one person for all of their emotional needs. And with that, if there's a team of people around, you have people that are checking the finances, that are watching the money that went out for the braces, that went out for the car. And by definition, that is illegal in California. I don't know what other states have as far as rules to protect their seniors, but that is a true issue that happens a lot, where seniors will give their money, they will give jewelry, they will do anything really that is suggested to them, often by the caregiver.
Yes.
because they are dependent, they want to be liked and loved, and they're at their mercy,
Right.
really.
Right. Well, I think had this lady had dementia, had not been in her right mind, in that situation, then it becomes elder abuse.
Yes.
Right. But this lady indeed was in her right mind. She did not have an attorney. She did not have a will. She didn't have an accountant. She paid her own bills. So there was no one to really watch over in the situation. I think, Julie, for our agency, we have a form that people sign, basically saying they cannot accept, our caregivers sign now that basically says they cannot accept gifts.
And what about marriage? We get a lot of situations where the caregiver becomes so involved with the senior, with the patient, that a relationship develops, and often there are times when they will get married and do that. And I was curious whether I don't believe there's a law, but is there a rule or something that you can enforce
Yeah, Julie?
that
No,
prevents that?
I don't think there is. I think what's just important is having, like you said, a team, but going beyond that and really laying out clearly a plan for your aging loved one or a friend of yours that might be aging, because it is so easy for somebody, even the best and brightest of the caregivers out there can be somebody that has hard times, or they get into a situation where it just becomes easy for them to take advantage of this person. So again, I think the most important factor is just making sure that you're taking care of the plan, the master plan, having a team, having an accountant, having a fiduciary lined up. Too many times we see even somebody that is demented, because they're not conserved, there's nothing that law enforcement can do. I ran into this situation before where the sheriff's department or the police department will say, I'm sorry, we all see it as a bad situation, but because this person isn't conserved, we can't actually do anything. And that's...
Well, and the kicker, I think, too, is some of these caregivers, there's groups of caregivers, in my opinion. There's the predators, that this is what they do for a living. They ingratiate themselves with other people, take what they can, and then they move on to the next one. But there's a group of genuinely good, nice people that don't understand that this is wrong. And they don't understand that the senior may be giving assets or whatever to them that will harm the senior later because there's no money for care.
Exactly. Well, and there is a lot of training on elder abuse. It's a requirement, both from a state licensing perspective as an agency. You have to, the caregivers have to watch a whole video on elder abuse. They have to read and sign a document on it. Again, though.
Well, and also, I'm guessing in your case, when you have caregivers, if you can create an environment that the caregiver has an opportunity or feels comfortable coming to their boss, which is you guys, or the fiduciary, and say, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, or things are going a little bit south in an inappropriate way. What should I do? If you can create an environment where people can communicate, that certainly would be helpful.
Right, absolutely.
Do you have any other thoughts? We're going to wrap up.
Nope. No,
here.
I think
that's great.
Okay.
Eyes on the situation.
Making sure you have a plan and a team.
I think those are the best things for you to protect yourself from caregiver attachment situations. And thank you for being with us today. We appreciate it.